good evening. I think the lack of coffee was compensated very well by Mr. Khera. So big round of applause for him. Before I start, I'll just share a small dream of mine, a dream which basically I want you to visualize a young 22-year-old girl, uh, probably in some remote town of India, waking up in the morning, checking her mobile app, and probably seeing a gig for her, a gig which is coming from Europe, which she gets pre-selected for. She goes to the nearest ITI, which is a technical institute, wherein she 3D prints, designs, and manufactures a part and ships it to Europe. She gets paid for it, and that's the only thing that she does. It seems far-fetched, but actually it's not. It kind of feeds into the larger dream, which is India as the advanced manufacturing powerhouse. Today we are not, but with a little push, with a little belief, we can become that advanced manufacturing powerhouse. And the day we achieve that dream, which is not too far away, I personally feel that China will not dare show Arunachal Pradesh as part of its territory. So that's the dream I harbor, I nurture. And as part of the company, we basically skill and give jobs to people in advanced manufacturing. But in Shiv Khera's word, we also put smiles on their faces because we make them valuable to the society and we make them Atmanirbhar in the true sense, because people who would have otherwise done an unskilled job and would have remained there for the rest of their life, we bring them into the fold of skilled labor force, wherein they grow further in their careers, become supervisors, machinists, and earn a very, very decent living, and that we've seen all our lives. But I would like to go back 20 years when the IT revolution started in India. And the IT revolution was not by accident, it was not by chance. There were impact funds, there were government agencies, governments, private bodies, entrepreneurs, almost everybody was working towards that goal. And today we saw every week or every month, we are basically creating a unicorn, a $1 billion plus company coming from the IT space, right? And that seeds were sown 20 years back when the NIIT's Aptex came out, right? Think about advanced manufacturing in the same state post-COVID, post-supply chain shocks of COVID, when things were not available that easily. We essentially went back and we asked ourselves that we cannot be dependent on one vendor, which is China in this case, for every product that we consume in India. As India, we have such a big demographic dividend. We should start thinking that how do we make use of them? How do we bring them with technology, arm them with the skills, and then become a powerhouse ourselves so that we don't have to depend on anyone else for manufacturing, which was known to us for thousands of years. We just lost it in between, right? So that's the idea of what we do. At a company level, our mission is to basically train over 50% of India's youth, which is probably in the ITIs and the polytechnics. These are the trade schools after 10th standard, 12th standard, where the students basically learn some hard skills and get into the workforce. The challenge and the problems of that space is that the equipment that they learn on is very old school. The trainers are not qualified, the curriculums are not updated, the certifications don't take place, internships are not there. So pretty much everything that you can think which could go wrong is going wrong in these ITIs. And the problem is they go to those trade schools in the hope of getting skilled, but they again come out and become very, very unskilled laborers, probably doing something at the construction site. We don't want that. The government is really behind us. Big companies like Tata Technologies is supporting this whole initiative. There are several CSR funds and state government funds which are helping, and we are the catalyst as part of that. So I spoke about the youth of India, which is the largest benefit. Could become a curse, but right now it's going in the right direction. Just to give you some numbers, ITI and polytechnic students in India are close to about 50 to 60 lakhs. And they are the biggest asset that we have if they get trained into manufacturing. By manufacturing, I want to talk about 3D printing, robotics, automation, CNC machining. So all of this put together basically give you the right to become an advanced manufacturing powerhouse that I'm talking about. And we do set up these things. We call it the Center of Excellence. We set up these things in remote places of Uttarakhand, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, wherever you name it, we are setting it up, and globally also. So as part of that practice, we basically bring our curriculum, certifications, jobs, everything, provided there is a support on the other side, which is probably an ITI, probably a government, probably a state government, probably a World Bank funding, something on the other side. We bring our own funding and we collectively come together to solve this massive need and bring India on that fold that we are thinking about. I spoke about some of these challenges, but each of this challenge presents an opportunity for us, right? Essentially, if there was no curriculum which was aligned to the industry, we created a curriculum that is now industry aligned because we come from the industry. We know exactly what the student needs, what the industry needs, and we are bringing that. If the trainers were not there, we created a train the trainer program. We actually created 300 trainers in Karnataka so that all the 150 ITIs who are there have now trained manpower to train the students over there. There are 15,000 ITI students in Karnataka and 300 trainers were trained by just us. Right? Equipment were not available. We bring equipment from world over. The irony of the situation is that the equipment now available in India is world class in all of these schools. Think about a situation where iPhone 14 Pro Max is available in the hands of a person and that person does not know how to use any of it except WhatsApp. So what is the need? What is the benefit of iPhone 14 Pro Max, right? So we are now teaching how to use that. In Uttarakhand, in Haridwar, we are launching our Center of Excellence on 13th of September with the help of the state government, with the help of World Bank. And the machines that we've deployed can actually make AK-47 over there. It is that quality of machines in CNC, 5-axis it's called, we've done there. And to make use of that machine so that people can benefit, the students can benefit, the industry can benefit, we put our trainers over there. And hence, equipment, old school equipment is no longer the case. Within the next 3 years, all the ITIs, all the polytechnics across the country will have iPhone 14 Pro Max level of equipment available. Then where is the problem? The problem is training. The problem is industry connect. The problem is jobs. And that's the last two things that we've also worked upon. We have industry recognized certifications. We give it by the OEMs, the companies which basically manufacture the machines work with us to create the certifications. Internships, projects, and jobs are available on our app, which is called the Machinist app that we've created. There are about 500 odd jobs listed on the platform right now. It'll keep growing because we are sellers to about 3,000 customers. Industry Connect program is where we basically expose the students to these things. Essentially, there are a lot of tribal students, a lot of students in the rural areas who have no facility to even go near something. We have put our simulators over there, just a small simulator so that they can learn programming over there. So all these challenges we took and we converted them into opportunities, and today it's working beautifully. We feel very comfortable that it will do well across the country. Some of the things in our COEs are essentially the products, the app, the automation, everything basically comes together. It's nothing else but equipment plus software, plus training programs from train the trainer, curriculum, and the job. So we basically said, let's just fix everything on the operating side. All we need is give us a student who's untrained. We'll train them, we'll skill them, we'll give them a job. We just need some help of some large company, sometimes a CSR fund, sometimes a state government. And the beauty is, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, Skill India, Pradhan Mantri Vikas Kaushal Yojana, all of those things are firing at the right time, and they are galvanizing the momentum around it. Essentially, the nation has learned that if you want to look eye to a vendor, we have to learn to manufacture it ourselves. So long as we keep buying these cheap televisions from China, I don't think we will be able to really look eye to eye. And manufacturing is the base for that. Our Center of Excellence looks very new age, very cool, because we don't want to only just do old school manufacturing technique. Something like this is a prototype. Right now it will come into picture. There's a part which is manufactured. If you lift the part, the television screen will start telling you how that part was manufactured, whether it's what equipment was used, what software was used. So essentially creating like an Apple version of our training center, just because we want the students to come into the fold, start appreciating what they are doing. These are some of the layouts of our COEs that we are probably pitching to the government that, you know what, we should use some of the latest ways of teaching the same things. Our Train the Trainer program works on confidence building, training skills, support, certifications for the trainers, because one gentleman over here mentioned that trainers are just not available. Any of the ITIs, whether you put the machines, you put anything, there is no trainer who can basically come over there and train those machines. And that's the problem that is to be solved first. So we work on that. All the training programs that we've conducted, we've taken some BTechs or good amount of qualified people to train them. And we learned that even engineering graduates are not trained into this. So the problem is deep rooted. Even the engineering schools are not teaching what advanced manufacturing is all about. The last thing that I would like to touch upon is the network that we've created. So whenever we basically create a center of excellence, you become a part of the broader network. So we've created three in Odisha, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and some outside of India as well. And the more we are basically creating these networks, the technology transfer, the student internship programs, we would like my students in Uttarakhand or in Odisha to be trained and to be globally exposed to the opportunities outside of India as well, if they can, so that they can learn the beauty, the new things that is going on outside of India. I want probably 300 more dots on this in the next 5 years, and I need your support. Each one of you can help create these things for us. Some of the partnerships we've done with the skill government of Uttarakhand, we did that in March. The mandate is to train 1,200 ITI students in the next 3 years. We'll be doing that. The launch is happening now. In the next 3 years, we'll be training that. We are very excited because Uttarakhand, we don't really think of it as a manufacturing hub, but the amount of industries which are coming over there is very, very exciting. And we are a catalyst for that. We worked with the government of Karnataka to upgrade 150 ITIs and train 300 students. So that certification program we ran over a year, because this was very detailed, very intensive, which we did. And that's now leading to some very superior teaching that is going on over there. We are very proud of that fact. This is the Machinist app that we created. The idea is to essentially have a lot of resources here, but more than that, all our internships and jobs are listed here. So essentially, when any student starts learning, they know that there's a job waiting over there. We don't really tell them that, you know what, we don't have a job and you have to try on your own. We give the app on the first day and say that this is the jobs, but it's gated. The day you will learn in 3 months, whatever, then these job openings will be available to you. The industry needs them. The beauty is that there's no competition. The industry needs skilled manpower. What they don't have is no skilling in between. So my business or my job is actually so easy. If I just train the person, there's a job waiting over the other side. So I don't really have to find a job. The job already is available in the market for that. Last but not the least, the government initiatives are very, very powerful. We all feel that the Indian government has a lot of red tape. The conversations go very long. But to my surprise, I feel that for a change, they're working very, very fast, especially in this domain, because they understand the urgency. They understand the geopolitical reason for becoming Atmanirbhar. So Atmanirbhar is not just a tagline or some kind of a buzzword. It's actually the need of the hour because of the geopolitics that is involved in this thing. And the sooner we all realize that what we are solving for is not just the small part or a television or some aerospace or a drone, we are solving for a much larger geopolitical thing is what we are a part of. And we feel that that is the need of the hour. And that's why the government is supporting so fast. Our conversations are getting materialized within 3 months. Our US counterparts are shocked that you start a conversation and within 3 months, the decision is being made by the government. It's like the governments don't take decisions anywhere in the world less than 2 years, 18 months, 12 months. But how come they are doing that in India so fast? So you can imagine the thrust is very high. And hence, anyone who's a part of skilling business, who's anyway connected to manufacturing per se, or 4 or 5 areas that they've declared as super critical, like semiconductors, chips, electronics, drones, EVs. These are the hot buttons for government, and anyone who's there in skilling business regarding this will be benefited because the government is extremely quick in taking decisions, supporting them with funds and the infrastructure. Money is slightly easier these days because there are several funds, but you also need infrastructure support. You need a 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 3,000 square foot space, right, where you would like to do that. So those are the kind of things we also expect, and the government is quick to allocate those kind of areas and money for you. Towards the end, I would just like to make a declaration that our company has a job for everybody who gets trained by us. And that's the proud statement I can make just because of this area that we are in, which is manufacturing. India can become a powerhouse. I would like to again connect back to the story that we want to be a powerhouse, but some belief, some hard work, some conviction, and all your support, all the CSR funds, all the foundations, all the government agencies that are involved have to come together. Like the way we came together for the IT revolution, and today no one really cares about it. It's on its own. The child has grown up and now it's running. And manufacturing is that child which needs support of everybody to come together. It's like a family which supports a child and has to make it work. We are in that space and we are the catalyst. We are somebody who's trying to make our mark in that, and your help is needed. Thank you so much.